Or Arthur Aidala. You know him. He's a New York trial attorney, and he actually studied under Justice Scalia and became one of his close friends. This I've known about you for a long time, and I confess you were the first person I thought of after Justice Scalia's family when hearing the news. How are you?
Oh, I'm so sad. And, you know, I wasn't one of his close friends. He was one of my close friends.
You loved him.
I loved him, and he was a mentor. I met him, I was 20.
Here you are together.
I was 23. Yeah, I was already old there. I was 23 years old. I did a study abroad program in Italy, and the head of the program asked me to cook for the justice. So I wind up cooking for Justice Scalia and his two aunts and his wife.
Thanks to Mama Aidala.
Thanks to Mama and grandmas. And Megan, this is the first time I met him, and he walks right into the kitchen. He rips the bread off. He dips it right in the sauce. And right away, this brilliant man, this incredibly powerful man, is such a down-to-earth, regular, and I use the word cool, because he was like a fun person to hang out with. And that was my first time hanging out with him, and my last time hanging out with him, quality, was just he and I. Was this past May. We went to lunch. My routine with him was I would pick out my favorite case of that term. He would get me to sit right in his wife's seats inside the well, as you know very well. We'd watch the arguments, and then I'd go into his chambers, and he'd have to do something for 5 minutes, and then he'd walk in, and this is what I'm going to miss hearing. He would walk in, and this is what you'd hear. Arturo!
Aww.
Where's Arturo? I'm hungry. And we would go right down into his car, and we would chit-chat in the car. And this last particular time, he gets out of the car, and he goes, I'm in a celebratory mood. And I said, why? He said, because I didn't know which way I was going to vote on that last case. And the oral argument made my mind up.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said, really? I said, so how are we celebrating? He goes, we're going to drink Campari for lunch, which is an Italian. And Megan,
you said, you came to the right place.
Right, exactly. And we went to his favorite restaurant, Tosca, and as a little jib to me, a little dig, he goes, I know you're a big TV star now, so I told him I need the middle table so everyone could see that I'm having lunch with Arthur Aidala.
I know, and
we had the best time.
Cranes did a big piece on you, and he was so proud of you. Your own dad couldn't have been prouder of you.
He was screaming. When I walked in the office and I showed it to him, it happened to be released on the day I was going to see him. He was like, oh my God, when I met you in Italy, I never thought you had this in you. And you know, he goes, wait till I tell Maureen. And I learned so much from him, and he's always in the front of my mind.
Before I let you go, what is your message to the people who, like these folks at Georgetown, who don't even want to see him remembered as a great jurist? Well, regardless of what you think of the way he approached cases.
Justice Breyer wrote, he's a legal titan. And that they couldn't be any more accurate. Even the President of the United States said he will be a jurist that will be remembered forever. And I will tell you, I had conversations with him about gay marriage. I had conversations with him about abortion. Abortion was a personal issue to him.
He was a devout Catholic.
Gay marriage was not. That wasn't his cause.
He just didn't see it in the Constitution.
He didn't see it as a right. If the legislators in New York State want to make it a law, that's fine. But don't tell me 225 years ago, when they wrote the Constitution, this was a right. And he didn't believe the justices should have that power. Yeah. He thought the voters should have that power. It's that simple. His son said it perfectly last night.
It's great to see you.
And I told him the story about you.
Oh, when I thought he was coming over to me?
Real quick, at lunch, I told him that story, and I told it very dramatically.
You told Justice Scalia this
Justice Scalia, and he was at I said, by the way, I said, Megyn Kelly, and you worked at Jones Day.
Did he know who I was? He had no idea, did he?
No.
Don't answer that question.
In May, he knew who you were. He didn't, but he said he didn't know who you were about this when you gave.
Time, yes.
And he cracked up laughing when I said, you know what you told her, Your Honor? He goes, what? I said, sweetie, could you take a picture of us? And he goes, oh my! He goes, am I in trouble? I go, you're not in trouble. And the other thing he left with me was he met Geraldo Rivera once, and he loved him. Absolutely fell in love.
It just went off the edge there. You had us
No. He said he's one of the most charming men I've ever met. That's what he told me.
Agreed.
Thank you so much for having me on, Megan. It meant so much to me to talk about my friend.
You were the only one I really, really wanted to hear from, because I know how much you loved him and respected him.
I love his whole family.
As a lawyer and a man. God bless.